The skies above Ottawa shimmered with anticipation, as if the clouds themselves held their breath. A moment carved in royal marble was about to unfold. King Charles III, sovereign of legacy and whispers of destiny, stepped onto Canadian soil not just as a monarch but as a living symbol of resilience. Queen Camilla, poised like a rose in winter, walked beside him, their presence sending ripples through history and diplomacy alike. On a crisp spring morning, their Majesties arrived to a roar of cheers that echoed like a national anthem reborn. Flags waved, eyes welled up, and hands clasped in reverence as Ottawa gave them a reception reserved only for legends. The Queen, in a soft pink ensemble, radiated an aura of graceful resolve, her iconic maple leaf brooch glinting under the Canadian sun, a gem once worn by queens past, now speaking to continuity and quiet strength. And as the royal motorcade cruised through the capital, even the doubters, those who whispered of a fading monarchy, couldn't help but look on, curious and captivated. At Lansdowne Park, royalty stepped down to meet reality. The king, ever the statesman, didn't just shake hands, he held hearts. He dropped the puck at a street hockey game, his royal grin breaking protocol and warming Canadian hearts faster than a Tim Hortons double-double. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla delighted food vendors and visitors alike, sampling maple delicacies and chatting with refugees whose journeys told stories far beyond borders. In that moment, the palace met the people, no fanfare, no filters, just real connection. Under the sacred shade of trees at Rideau Hall, King Charles planted a sapling, an age-old royal tradition now blooming with modern meaning. It wasn't just about growth, but about grounding. About legacy that digs deep and stretches skyward. Then came the moment, Queen Camilla's induction into the Canadian Privy Council. A gesture steeped in governance, yes, but also in trust. The kind of trust a nation offers not to a ruler, but to a guardian of its democratic spirit. But make no mistake, this visit wasn't all teacups and photo ops. Beneath the royal charm lingered the ghost of recent words, those of former President Donald Trump, who offhandedly mused about Canada's annexation. Without ever addressing it directly, King Charles's presence spoke louder than any press release. His every handshake was a nod to Canada's sovereignty. His every smile, a silent rebuke to claims that its identity could ever be borrowed or bought. And his scheduled address to the Canadian Parliament, a moment wrapped in history. Not since Queen Elizabeth II in 1977 has a reigning monarch done so. Now, Charles steps forward, not as a ruler above but as a partner beside. This was no ordinary visit. For a man who has weathered media storms, personal trials, and health uncertainties, King Charles stood tall not because he had to, but because he chose to. Canada, a mosaic of cultures and causes, welcomed him not out of obligation but out of something far deeper, a shared heritage too precious to ignore. And Queen Camilla, once the subject of royal tabloid firestorms, stood beside him with unshakable calm. She has evolved from outsider to pillar, a transformation as quietly compelling as the country that now welcomes her. But beyond the grandeur and gold-trimmed ceremonies, there lingered deeper questions. What does modern monarchy mean to a generation raised on independence and innovation? King Charles, with his climate crusades and quiet diplomacy, seems eager to answer that, not with declarations, but with presence. In schools, in shelters, in shared laughter with indigenous leaders, he listens more than he speaks. And Queen Camilla, no longer cast in shadow, now reflects a strength molded not by pageantry, but by persistence. Their visit, though wrapped in tradition, sparked new conversations from downtown cafes to political circles. Is this a turning point, a gentle reshaping of royal relevance in the Canadian mosaic? Only time will tell. But for now, The royal footprints in Ottawa's spring soil have left a mark quiet, dignified, and undeniably human.